Now that we've set up our layout and established our paper size, the next goal is to add our title block. Generally speaking, a layout acts just like model space, so if I wanted to, I could draft my title block right on the Layout tab. Instead, I'm going to drag in my title block geometry from another drawing. Let's do this. I'm going to open up the drawing that we left off with in the previous session. Let's look in the Chapter 15 folder located inside the Exercise Files directory, and I'm going to select drawing number 4, the 80s game controller, and we'll click Open. This is right where we left off. Let me come down and click on my Layout tab. If you're using the exercise files and you're working with me, when you click the Layout tab, you may have gotten an error. That's because this saved drawing references a printer name that may not exist on your machine. If that's the case, simply right-click on this tab, go to Page Setup Manager, select Modify, and choose a new printer. Let me close this dialog, and I'll close the Page Setup Manager. Now our Layout tab acts just like Model Space, and if I wanted to, I could draw a title block right here. Instead, to save time, I've already created a drawing that contains my title block geometry. Let's open up that drawing. I'm going to come up and click my Open icon, and once again we're going to go in the Chapter 15 folder. Let's open up the number 4 drawing called Title Block. I will highlight this guy and click Open. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this geometry onto my layout. I happen to have 2 drawings open, so let's do a side-by-side display. I'm going to go to my window pull-down, and I'm going to select Tile Vertically. Let me back up my title block view so I can see the whole title block, and then I'll click in my layout and back up so I can see the whole layout. And then to move the geometry from one drawing to another, I'm going to click in my title block drawing, click and make a window. Let me click to finish the window. Everything gets highlighted, and then all I have to do is place my cursor on top of a highlighted line, not on top of a grip. I'll place my cursor on top of the highlighted line, click and hold, and I'll drag this into the current file. Let me center it as best I can, and I'll release my mouse button. Now I'm finished with this drawing. I can close it. I don't want to save changes, and then I'll maximize the current drawing on my screen. Let me zoom in a little bit closer. This title block is fairly well centered on my layout, so I'm going to leave it as it is. We really won't truly know where it's going to be on our plot until we see it come out of the printer. So for right now, I'm going to leave it here. When the time comes that I actually get a hard copy of this print, if it's not exactly in the middle of the sheet, I can always come back here and move it. Now that I've added my title block to my layout, if I wished, I could zoom in on my text, I could double-click edit it and make any changes I wish. In addition to title blocks, layouts are a great place to put notes, legends, north arrows, and scale bars. In our next session, we'll complete our layout by adding a viewport and setting our geometry to a measurable scale.